Hello again, it's... Do I say hello again or no? Hey guys, it's Mike Fitzick, and right now we're gonna do a Sicilian pizza. The Sicilian pizza that we're gonna cook, it's high hydration, a little complicated, but the end results, it's totally worth it. External temperatures are gonna play a factor into this. My proofing regimens are different in the summer than they are in the winter. And then there's those really complicated transitional periods. With someone in their home, understand your environment and try to maybe always mix in the same spot, like a consistent area, like your kitchen or something where it's always a regular temperature. For a good, decent sized square pizza, we're gonna use the Gozney dough. We're gonna start mixing the dough right now. If you're gonna do this by hand, it's gonna be pretty hard, being as this is a very high hydration dough. It's really gonna be a pain in the butt. This is just cold tap water, the coldest that your sink can make. Then we're gonna put in some powdered yeast, mix that for a second. We're just getting that all dissolved. Double oat flour. And a little bit of strong high gluten flour or bread flour. And then we're gonna mix all this through for about 5 to 7 minutes until everything's combined. She's all done mixing. You can see everything's pretty much combined in here. What we're gonna do is wait about 5 to 10 minutes, let this all kind of combine and gel out. It's been about 5-10 minutes. We've let this rest. We're gonna turn it on high, and in about 2 minutes after it's been running, we're gonna start adding some more ingredients. Gonna be slowly adding water in this while the mixer's on full blast. The dough is gonna be slowly absorbing the water. What I have here is a pre-ferment in water. If you don't have pre-ferment, it's fine, you can just use the water. What pre-ferment is the day before, we mixed a little bit of water, flour, and yeast together to get a little pre-fermented dough that we're gonna add to this. If you don't use it, it's okay. You will get similar results. This is kind of like a little flavor component that we use at the shop. All right, so I'm gonna throw this on high. Just wait 2 minutes, let this kind of come together. You're gonna be looking for it to smooth out a little bit. If you're in a stand mixer, you're just gonna wanna look for a little sheen to form on the dough. All right, so it's been about 2 or 3 minutes. You can see that this dough is smoothed out big time. What we're gonna do is slowly add 2/3 of our inoculated water. Beautiful, right? Don't stare at it too long though. You will pass out. You will notice a little difference in time with the mixing if you're using a stand mixer. And then if you're hand mixing, this is gonna take forever. Only been about 2 or 3 minutes and all that water has been absorbed into the dough. We're gonna finish by pouring the rest of this inoculated water in there, and we're gonna let the water that's in there, we're gonna let the salt and the sugar ride on that so it doesn't mess the dough up at all. Just a little bit of salt, wait for it to get absorbed, and then go back. You don't wanna dump all the salt and sugar at once, it's gonna mess the dough up. You're trying to sneak this in with the water without the dough knowing. And now we're gonna wait for all that salt, the rest of the water to absorb in. And in the last 4 or 5 minutes, we're gonna pour in our olive oil. We want our dough fully formed, the gluten to be all tightly bound, and then we pour the olive oil in. It's looking pretty smoothed out. All the salt, all the water is absorbed. We got about 4 minutes left, so we gotta get this oil in. And you just dump it all in at once. Again, you're gonna see the same kind of thing happen where the dough's gonna slowly absorb this up, and then you're done. You can hear it, it's almost done. You can use that with all different types of stuff. Okay, so everything's all mixed. We're gonna get into this bowl. Gotta put a little bit of oil in there so it don't stick. And this is going in the fridge for anywhere between 1 day and 48 hours. Ideally, we're gonna wanna take this and just bulk ferment it in the fridge for 2 days. If you want to use it the next day, that's fine. I just recommend bringing it out really early, about 2 hours before you want to start forming it into the pans and getting it up to temp. As you see, this is kind of a loose and it's pretty slack dough, but if you do it the way that I teach you, it should be pretty combined. It's all still one piece. So we're going to cover this up. In about 2 minutes, we'll give it a baker's fold. All right, and here's one we made earlier. So this one's already been proofed up and it's ready to go. What we're going to do, get it out on our work surface, break it down into 400 gram balls. So this recipe will make up to about 5 square pizzas. This is going to be a little different because instead of actually balling these up, we're going to chop them out, weigh them, they're going right in the pan. Just a little bit of oil. Get a little bit more oil on there. And that's it. Now what we're going to do is try to press this out as good as we can for right now. You know, don't be too worried about trying to get that thing to stretch out completely. It's not going to do it. What we're going to do is cover it right now, and we're just going to put this someplace room temperature, not too hot, not too cold. Wait about 10-15 minutes, let that relax. We're going to go back, press it out one more time, and then if we need to, if it hasn't reached the edges by then, we can wait another 10-15 minutes and press it out one last time. It's been about 2 hours at room temperature. This thing's all nice and proofed up. As you can see, it's kind of a little wobbly in the pan. It's filled out. The corners are kind of puffed up. So right now we're going to bake it. You're going to want to have the Gozney dome set to about 750, and we're going to put this in and turn the flame off. Now, if you're running wood, you're going to want to get the deck up to about 750 with wood and just kind of stoke the embers down before you put this in. With a little bit of olive oil so it's got a nice crispy top, and it's going in. Flame off. And then we're going to set our alarm for about 5 minutes. We're going to come back and check in on it. All right, it's been about 5 minutes. Let's check on this sucker. Guys, it's beautiful.
Can you say it to this camera?
Guys, it's beautiful. All right, guys. You can see she's all nice and puffed up. Let's take a look at the underbelly. Nice, that's what we're looking for right there. I mean, this is what I serve at my shop. All right, so basically, now that it's out of the oven, it's par baked, we're gonna take this and let it cool for a little bit before we put any toppings on, just because it's not gonna be conducive to try to get sauce and cheese on this flaming hot piece of dough. All right, so we're gonna get this on a cooling rack and just let that chill out for a little bit. So you saw the bottom of that cannot be achieved in your home oven. Like this Gozney dome with that technique is the real deal. That's how you cook a square pizza. All right, guys, it's been a little bit. We've let this kind of cool down a little bit. We're gonna oil this pan just a little bit, get this back in the pan. We're gonna go cheese first. So we're just using fresh mozzarella. If you have shredded mozzarella, that works great too. Just make sure to kind of dab a little bit of moisture off before you put it on, or else it's gonna be a really juicy pizza. So in this sauce is a little bit of salt, some fresh oregano, and some crushed garlic. And hit it with a little bit of Parmesan. This being a margarita pizza, just a little bit of basil. That's looking pretty good. It's gonna be the same technique that we did to cook this. We're gonna put it back in the Gozney dome, and we're gonna turn it off. Stick it in. And we're gonna come back in 5 minutes. We're looking good, guys. All right, guys, it's been almost 5 minutes. We're gonna see how it's looking. Oh my God. We're gonna turn the flame back on just for 1 minute to finish that top off, and we're done, babe. It's ready to serve. It should be pretty good unless something goes horribly wrong in the next 2 seconds. I'm just waiting for that top flame to put a little color on top of this pizza, just a few toasted spots, and then we're done. That's all she wrote, man. Just let that chill for a second before you take it out. All right, guys, that's it. Let's cut this sucker up. I don't know if you guys can hear that. You hear that? That means good. That's what we're looking for, boys.
Hold it. Spin it. And then bottom.
Not too thick, not too thin, kind of crispy, super soft in the middle, creamy, saucy, got a little bit of zest. This is like the best pizza ever. Come on over here, boy. Get cozy with me now. Banging. Come on. Try it, got a little one. Not a big commitment, just tell me how it is. You hear that?
Oh yeah. This is it.
I feel bad for you guys watching this. For the full recipe, go to Gozney.com. All right, so right now we're gonna ball this dough up to about 400 grams.